everyone, welcome back to GK Today. I am Vatsalya and in this video we'll cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series 2022 in the GK Today's Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in the GK Today Android application. In this course in app, you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document, and also category-wise revision e-books that are optimized for reading on mobile. You are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. And let me tell you one more thing. If you want the Hindi version of this session, you can refer to our former channel named as GK Today. The link has been given in the description box from where you can reach to. So without taking much of your time, let's get started.
Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 13th of July 2022. Let's start. Mission Vatsalya, which was seen in the news recently, is a scheme implemented by which union ministry? So Mission Vatsalya is a kind of umbrella scheme for the child protection services in the country, and it is implemented by the Women and Child Development Ministry. So recently Ministry has released the guidelines for this scheme, and the funds to various states will be approved through the Mission Vatsalya Project Approval Board, and it will be chaired by the Women and Child Development Secretary, who will approve the annual plans and financial proposals received from the states and the union territories for the release of grants. Okay, so it is implemented by Ministry of Women and Child Development. Now let's see some of the important states that were in news. Which Indian state has launched a new scheme named as Nari Ko Naman? So this is a scheme from the state Himachal Pradesh. And what is the aim of this scheme? To provide 50% concession on the bus fares to the women for their traveling. And also they have announced to sanction 25 new posts of women drivers in the Ride with Pride government taxi scheme. Okay, so Nari Ko Naman belongs to the state Himachal Pradesh. Which is the first state assembly to pass a resolution against the Agnipath recruitment scheme? So the very first state to pass a resolution against this recruitment scheme is Punjab. Ramp scheme, which was seen in the news recently, is associated with which union ministry? Actually, recently Prime Minister Narendra Modi participated in Udyami Bharat program in New Delhi to launch the Ramp scheme. So this scheme is implemented by Ministry of MSME. What is the full form of Ramp? Raising and Accelerating MSME Performance. Okay. Which Indian state has announced a buyback scheme to purchase single-use plastic items from the student? This is the state Himachal Pradesh. So Himachal Pradesh state government will provide 75 rupees for 1 kg of single-use plastic items that have been collected by the students. Which state is set to roll out the comprehensive health insurance scheme named as Medicep? So this is a scheme from the state Kerala. Actually, it is a kind of medical insurance scheme for the state government employees, and it will provide the cashless medical assistance with coverage of up to 3 lakh rupees per year. Right? Next question. Convention for the Safeguarding of the Intangible Cultural Heritage is associated with which institution? So India has been elected to the Intergovernmental Committee of UNESCO's 2003 Convention for the Safeguarding of the Intangible Cultural Heritage for 2022 to 2026 cycle. And India has already served as a member of the ICH committee twice, from 2006 to 2010 and from 2014 to 2018, right? So India will be a part of the two committees of UNESCO, Intangible Cultural Heritage 2022 to 2026 and World Heritage 2021 to 2025. Okay, so ICH is related to UNESCO, right? Can you tell me where does the headquarters of UNESCO lie? Do let me know in the comments. Let's see some of the important institutions that were in news. Which institution released the Global Findex Database 2021? So this database has been released by the World Bank, and in this the World Bank tells that a large share of the global population in India and China is without banking lives. Okay, and reason being the large size of India and China. Also, it further told that women are more unbanked than men. Fine. Which institution has launched a portal named as Pariksha Sangam? It has been launched by CBSE, means Central Board of Secondary Education, and this portal will act as a one-stop destination for all exam-related activities. So it has basically three parts. First is Ganga, which is for schools. Second is Yamuna, it is for regional offices. And third one is Saraswati, it referred to the head office. Okay. Which institution has released a report titled as Harnessing the Green Hydrogen? This is a report from Niti Aayog. The Union Cabinet approved the categorization of which institution as an international organization in July 2022. So recently, Union Cabinet has approved that the CDRI will be now categorized as an international organization. Full form of CDRI is Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. Which is the only institution in India to issue the electoral bonds? This is State Bank of India. Now, why it was in news? Because the government has approved the issuance of 21st phase of the sale of electoral bonds through the authorized SBI branches from 1st of July. Okay, and how many branches are there from SBI which are authorized properly? These are 29. Okay. Next question. Who has been named as India's new Sherpa for the G20 after Piyush Goyal? So former Niti Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant has been named as India's new Sherpa for the G20, and he has replaced Mr. Piyush Goyal, who's our Minister for Commerce and Industry along with Consumer Affairs. So India is set to assume the G20 presidency from 1st of December 2022 up to 30th of November 2023. And this Sherpa will attend the meetings that will be held in different parts of the country. Okay. Can you tell me which country is the current president of G20? Let me know in the comments. Now coming to the question slide. Industrial Anand Mahindra and Venu Srinivasan have been appointed as non-official directors of which institution? So they have been appointed as the non-official directors of Reserve Bank of India. And there are two more names in this. First is industrialist Mr. Pankaj R. Patel. And second is IIM Ahmedabad Professor Ravindra H. Dholakia. Okay. So they have been appointed for a period of 4 years. So you have to remember all the 4 names. Which country, also a constitutional monarchy, appointed its first minister for the republic? This is Australia. And who's the new Prime Minister of Australia? Mr. Anthony Albanese. Rabah Fatima, who has been appointed as the Under Secretary General of the United Nations, is from which country? So Rabah Fatima has been appointed as the Under Secretary General of UN, and she is from the country Bangladesh. Okay. Which Indian has been appointed as the head of International Monetary Fund's Asia and the Pacific Department? This is Mr. Krishna Srinivasan. Who has been appointed head of the World Trade Organization's Committee on the Technical Barriers to Trade? Answer is Mr. Anwar Hussain Sheikh. Fine. Next question. Who is the promoter of Akasa Air, which recently got air operator certificate from DGCA? Basically, Akasa Air is a startup carrier that is promoted by veteran stock market investor Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. And this airline, which got air operator certificate from the Director General of Civil Aviation, will start their services in late July. So it is a kind of Indian low-cost airline and headquartered lies in Mumbai in Maharashtra. Okay. Coming to the question slide. Which company has announced $2 million in grant to India for education and workforce development? So Salesforce announced $2 million in grant to over 22 non-profits across India for education and workforce development in the country. So using the grant, students will have access to hybrid learning spaces, social, emotional learning, STEM means science, technology, engineering and mathematics, as well as early education. Okay. Which public sector company has tied up with the National Fertilizers Limited for synthesizing the green ammonia? So NTPC Renewable Energy Limited signed a memorandum of understanding with the National Fertilizer Limited to collaborate in the field of renewable energy and green chemical. So this agreement also includes collaboration in synthesizing the green ammonia for captive use for the production of industrial product by NFL. So NTPC recently announced the green hydrogen initiatives and the first pilot projects for synthesizing the green methanol, setting up the green hydrogen filling station, green hydrogen blending into PNG and the green energy storage project. Okay. News Initiative India Training Network is an initiative of which company? So this is the initiative of Google. Which company launched the Startup School India initiative? Answer is Google, and Google will bring together investors, entrepreneurs, programmers to provide opportunities to the startups from small cities to interact and learn from them. Okay. Which state or the union territory has announced a joint venture company with NLC India for setting up a 1 gigawatt solar plant? This state is Assam. Okay. Next question. The Indian government recently organized a national conclave on which fruit? So Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare organized a national conclave on the dragon fruit. And the center has decided to promote the cultivation of dragon fruit now. So it is also known as superfruit for its health benefit, and at present this exotic fruit is cultivated in 3,000 hectares. The plan is to increase the cultivation up to 50,000 hectares in next 5 years. Okay. So Gujarat and Haryana government had already offered incentives for the cultivation of this fruit. Okay. Now coming to the question slide. Which country organized the World Peace Forum 2022? So the 10th edition of the World Peace Forum was recently organized in Beijing in China. So India's ambassador to China, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Rawat, participated in the forum, and he participated in the BRICS Cooperation and Opportunities and Challenges meeting as well. Okay, don't forget that the BRICS presidency is with China for the year 2022. And which countries comes under BRICS? Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Scientists from which country discovered a new giant carnivorous dinosaur species named as Meryxis gigas? This is the country Argentina. And this dinosaur species is found to have a massive head and tiny arms. The Padma multipurpose bridge, which was seen in the news recently, is located in which country? This bridge lies in Bangladesh, and it is one of the longest bridge of Bangladesh. Which is the first country to announce equal pay for both male and the female cricketer? This is the country New Zealand. Which country has announced the discovery of 31 million metric tons of gold deposit? So 31 million metric tons of gold deposit has recently been found in the country Uganda. Okay. Next question. As per the Environment Ministry's report, how many faunal species were added by India in 2021? So the details of new discoveries and new records of fauna and flora were published by Mr. Bhupendra Yadav, who is our Union Minister of Environment, Forest and the Climate Change at Zoological Survey of India, that is ZSI, Kolkata. Okay. So India added 540 species to its faunal database in 2021, and now it has the total number of animal species 1,03,258. And a new mammal species was found in the Andaman and Nicobar group of islands that has also been added here. Okay. Let's see some of the important indices. Which city was ranked first in India in the Economist Intelligence Unit Global Liability Index 2022? Answer is New Delhi. So 5 Indian cities were featured in this index: Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Ahmedabad and Bangalore. And worldwide, the top city was Vienna from Austria, second was Copenhagen from Denmark, and third was Zurich from Switzerland. As per the Huron India Future Unicorn Index 2022, which city is the startup capital of India? So Bangalore is the startup capital of India, and as per the index, India will have 122 new unicorns in the next 2 to 4 years, and Bangalore has currently 46 unicorns, and then Bangalore is followed by New Delhi with total 25 unicorns, and at third it was Mumbai with total 16 unicorns. Which is the only Indian city to achieve the gold standard category in the Asia Pacific Sustainability Index 2021? So again, 4 Indian cities have been featured in this, which are these: Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad and Mumbai. And the first among all is Bangalore. And which were the top 5 cities worldwide? First was Singapore, then Sydney, third was Wellington, then Perth and Melbourne. Okay. Which Union Ministry released the Performance Grading Index for the district, that is PGI-D? It has been released by Ministry of Education. What is the rank of India in the World Competitiveness Index 2022? In this, India ranks at 37th position. Okay. Next question. Which is said to become the first state in the country to have an exclusive research and development policy? So Karnataka is said to become the very first state in the country to have an exclusive research and development policy. And this policy seeks to allocate at least 0.1% of its GDP towards research and development and innovation. Okay. Also, Karnataka is the first state to have an exclusive aerospace and defense research and development policy. Also, it has a separate semiconductor and renewable energy policy. Fine. Let's see some of the important states. Which state or the union territory launched Mission Kushal Karmi to upgrade the skills of the construction workers? So Delhi government has launched this particular scheme to upgrade the skills of the construction workers, and it was launched with the help of Delhi Skill and Entrepreneurship University and Delhi Buildings and Other Construction Workers Welfare Board. So the government aims to train 2 lakh workers in 1 year under this program, and to compensate for the loss of wages during the training, all the construction workers will be provided with an amount of 4,200 rupees each. Fine. West Bengal has signed a new reciprocal transport agreement with which state? So Sikkim and West Bengal government recently signed a new reciprocal transport agreement. And as per the agreement, all Bengal permits for Sikkim vehicles and all Sikkim permits for the Bengal vehicles will be issued to facilitate the vehicle movement across both the state. And previously, the vehicles had limited permits for movement across the other states. Okay. Next is Akhil Bharatiya Shiksha Sangam was organized in which state or the union territory? So Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated Akhil Bharatiya Shiksha Sangam on the implementation of the National Education Policy in Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. So it will be a platform for academicians, policy makers and the leaders to deliberate their experiences and discuss the roadmap for effective implementation of the National Education Policy. So Prime Minister also inaugurated the Akshay Patra Midday Meal Kitchen at LT College. Fine. Which state recently approved its electric vehicle policy 2022 and announced to reimburse 100% state GST and registration fees on the sale of electric vehicles. So Chhattisgarh government approved its electric vehicle policy to make the state an EV manufacturing hub and also to generate employment. So the government has set a target of 5 years for having the EVs accounting for up to 15% of the new registration of the vehicle. And the state government will reimburse 100% state GST and registration fees on the sales of electric buses and electric goods carriages during the 5-year policy period. Okay. Which state received approval for a $300 million World Bank funded school education project? So Chhattisgarh government has received an in-principle nod from the central government to go ahead with the $300 million school education project in the state. And Department of Economic Affairs under the Union Finance Ministry had given their approval for the project, which is to be funded by the World Bank. Okay. Next question. Mangarh Hillock, which was seen in the news recently, is located in which state or the Union Territory? So it is situated in Rajasthan near the Gujarat border, and it is said to be declared the monument of national importance. So it is a site of a tribal uprising where a massacre of over 1500 Bhil tribal freedom fighters took place in 1913. So tribals gathered at the site were holding a meeting in the protest led by a leader from the community, Govind Guru. And this place is also known as Adivasi Jallianwala. Okay. Let's see some of the important things that were in news. What is Derico, which was seen in the news recently? So several states of the United States were hit by a storm system called as Derico. So this is a storm system. And Derico is defined as the long-lived straight line wind storm that is associated with a band of rapidly moving showers or thunderstorms. Just Stop Oil, which was seen in the news recently, is a group of climate activists based in which country? So this is a climate activist group from UK. Ons Jabier, who was seen in the news, is associated with which field? So she is related to sports and she belongs to the country Tunisia. So she is the very first Arab or North African woman to reach a Grand Slam singles semi-final. Okay. Mormolda Glacier, which was seen in the news, is located in which country? Answer is Italy. Fields Medal, which was seen in the news recently, is associated with which field? So this is the award which is given in the field of mathematics, and recently Marina Vyazovska from the country Ukraine has received it. Okay. Next question. Who is the first woman to be featured on the wall of former chief economist of the International Monetary Fund? So Geeta Gopinath has become the very first woman to be featured on the wall of former chief economist of the IMF. And also she is the only second Indian to achieve this feat after Raghuram Rajan, who was named during his service as IMF chief economist and director of research between the years 2003 and 2006. So she served as the first female chief economist of the IMF for the last 3 years, right? Let's see some of the important women-related current affairs. Who is the first woman cricketer to appear in 6 World Cup? This is Mithali Raj. Recently, who has become the first woman officer to be inducted as a fighter aviator to fly a fleet of helicopters in the Army Aviation Corps? This is Abhilasha Barak. Who is the chairperson of the Jindal Group as well as India's richest woman according to the Forbes billionaire list for 2022? Answer would be Savitri Jindal. Who is the first Indian woman to climb 5 peaks above 8,000 meter? This is Priyanka Mohite. Okay. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions. And at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Vatsalya signing off.